7 strange archaeological discoveries that left scientists speechless. No one has an explanation. Have you ever wondered whether the mysteries from thousands of years ago are truly buried deep beneath the dust of time? And if they were to be uncovered, would we, modern humans, be capable of understanding them all? Welcome to the Ancient History Channel, where things that seem only to exist in Indiana Jones movies or fantasy stories actually appear in real life, bringing with them countless unsolved mysteries. In today's video, we will uncover 7 archaeological discoveries that shock the world, leaving even the most seasoned scientists speechless. From ancient tombs thousands of years old hidden in the desert, where time seems powerless against the unbelievably well-preserved mummies, to artifacts unearthed that no one, no matter how skilled, can explain their purpose. These are not just relics, but puzzles. Messages sent from the past to the present, challenging all the knowledge humanity has ever built. So, are you curious to know what those archaeological discoveries are? If so, join us as we embark on a journey through space and time, confronting secrets of archaeology never before decoded. Without further delay, let's begin with the first discovery. The most terrifying imperial tomb in China. When it comes to China's most famous archaeological anecdotes, Chinese experts still cannot forget the most dangerous excavation they ever undertook: the unearthing of Dingling, the tomb of Emperor Wanli, the 13th ruler of the Ming dynasty. In 1955, an archaeological team led by WWII began excavating this tomb. For a relatively inexperienced team, this was a truly perilous challenge. Dingling, also known as the Ming Dingling, dates back over 300 years. It is the final resting place of Emperor Wanli, Zhu Yijun of the Ming dynasty. The tomb took 6 years to construct and cost nearly 8 million taels of silver. Though not as grand in scale as other imperial tombs, Dingling was meticulously built, posing significant obstacles during the excavation process. The archaeological team spent over a year and a half locating the entrance to the underground palace. This entrance was sealed by a diamond-shaped wall, 26 feet high and 5 feet thick. As the excavation reached critical stages, local villagers spread rumors that the underground palace contained a river. To reach the emperor's coffin, one supposedly had to navigate a small boat across a chasm thousands of feet deep, filled with sharp swords. Moreover, only someone born on the same day and month as Emperor Wanli could access the coffin's location. These rumors deeply unsettled the team. Nevertheless, WWII's group dismissed the superstitious tales and pressed on with the excavation. After months of relentless effort, they finally reached the main chamber, where the emperor's coffin was housed. According to those directly involved, the main chamber contained 3 red coffins. The central one belonged to Emperor Wanli, flanked by those of his empresses. Upon opening the coffins, the team was thrilled to discover a vast collection of rare treasures. The most striking was the emperor's dragon crown, adorned with over 120 gemstones, 5,000 pearls, and crafted entirely with gold thread. However, archaeology at the time was still rudimentary. Due to limited resources, some artifacts from the tomb suffered severe damage. The emperor's wooden coffin was deemed of little research value and left near a mountain crevice. 7 villagers, hearing of this, retrieved the coffin and divided its precious wood among themselves. Overjoyed to possess wood over 3 centuries old, they were unaware of the calamity it would bring. A fellow villager warned, "The emperor's possessions aren't for just anyone. Without the right fortune, they could bring ruin or even death." True to the warning, strange events soon unfolded. An elderly couple had a coffin made from the emperor's rosewood, but within 2 weeks, both passed away. Another farmer placed a piece of the wood on his altar, and soon after, all 4 of his children died inexplicably. Others who took pieces of the coffin also faced relentless misfortune. Even more bizarrely, the archaeologists involved in the excavation encountered unusual incidents. WWII's wife, Yu Likun, hanged herself in their old Beijing home, and their 2 sons also died by suicide. Zheng Zhenduo, who led the excavation, died in a sudden plane crash. Wu Han, who advocated for the tomb's excavation, took his own life in prison. Liu Din, the photographer who opened the emperor's coffin, also died by hanging. It seemed that the moment the underground palace was opened, a curse from Emperor Wanli's tomb began to take effect. Despite uncovering countless treasures, Dingling left a legacy of fear and trauma in China's archaeological community. Since then, an unwritten rule has emerged in Chinese archaeology: avoid actively excavating imperial tombs. Wreckage of bomber lost, 80 years ago discovered. In October 2024, an astonishing discovery was announced when researchers revealed the finding of a Beaufort bomber wreck that had gone missing nearly 80 years earlier in the Pacific Ocean. The aircraft, bearing the serial number A9-374, belonged to No. 100 Squadron of the Royal Australian Air Force and had been on a mission to strike airfields near the city of Foggia, Italy, in 1943 during World War. Following the attack, the aircraft and its 4 crew members vanished without a trace, making the story of this bomber a long-standing mystery in military history. The wreckage was located off the coast of Gasmata, Papua New Guinea, in deep waters where the remains of the bomber now rest at a depth of approximately 52 feet. The debris is scattered across a large area, presenting a significant challenge for identification and requiring the coordinated efforts of numerous experts. Air Marshal Stephen Chappell, Chief of the Royal Australian Air Force, stated that this was a complex task, as the aircraft was severely damaged and buried under mud and marine life, making identification a time-consuming process. To carry out the mission, a team consisting of professional divers and maritime archaeologists took part in the search and verification process. The Beaufort A9374 was part of the Bristol Beaufort line of bombers, developed by the Bristol Aeroplane Company in the late 1930s. This aircraft served dual roles, both as a bomber and as a reconnaissance and torpedo-dropping platform. The prototype of the model first took flight on October 15, 1938. Although originally designed to conduct magnetic mine-laying missions, Beauforts were also deployed in a wide range of combat operations, including mine-laying missions in the North Sea, the English Channel, and the Atlantic Ocean. By 1942, all Beaufort squadrons had been reassigned to the Mediterranean and Indian Ocean regions, where they faced intense enemy threats. Out of the 1,380 Beaufort bombers produced during that time, many were manufactured in Australia and operated by the RAF. However, not all aircraft were fortunate enough to return from their perilous missions. Of the 700 Beauforts built in Australia, the A9-374 was one of those that did not return after its mission in Italy, leaving its disappearance a lingering question in the history of military aviation. The discovery of the A9-374 is more than just the story of a forgotten aircraft. It stands as a testament to the sacrifice of the pilots who fought not only for their countries, but also for freedom and peace. It also highlights advancements in archaeological technology and modern search methods, which allow researchers not only to uncover historical artifacts, but also to honor and remember those who were lost in war. This discovery holds significance not only for the Royal Australian Air Force, but also for all who are interested in history and the untold stories of World War II. Remains of a couple found, embracing for 3,000 years. Near the village of Petrikhiv, located south of Ternopil, Ukraine, archaeologists recently uncovered the skeletal remains of a married couple who had died while locked in a tight embrace approximately 3,000 years ago. Based on the positioning of the remains, researchers believe that the man likely died first, and the woman voluntarily entered the grave, wrapped herself around her deceased partner, and accepted being buried alive, choosing death over separation from her beloved. This theory stems from the fact that the woman's body could not have been placed in such a close and natural embrace if she had already been dead at the time of burial. Initial examinations and analysis revealed that the couple belonged to the Vysotskaya culture, an ancient society known for its deep sense of marital loyalty and mutual responsibility between spouses. According to Professor Mykola Bandrivsky, director of the Transcarpathian branch of the Archaeological Preservation Service under the Institute of Archaeology of Ukraine, who has spent years studying the burial customs of the Vysotskaya culture, this is a unique burial tradition. He explained, "The man and woman are holding each other tightly. Their faces are close together and their foreheads touch. The woman lies on her back, gently wrapping her right arm around the man, with her wrist resting on his right shoulder. Her legs are slightly bent and rest over the man's outstretched legs. Both individuals are adorned with bronze jewelry, and near their heads were placed several ceramic items, including a bowl, a jar, and 3 water dippers. Bandrivsky also noted that people living during the Late Bronze Age had strong beliefs in the eternal existence of the soul. Marriage was highly respected in the Vysotskaya culture, with well-defined roles and responsibilities for husbands and wives. It was not uncommon for women to wish to join their life partners in the afterlife. While similar double burials have been found elsewhere in Europe, where men and women are laid to rest side by side, the Vysotskaya culture stands out for the way it arranged couples in a deeply intimate and symbolic position, highlighting tenderness and the profound love shared between them. 2,000-year-old tomb, containing 50 sets of human remains discovered. In the fall of 2021, during the expansion of the Shinoya Cemetery in Krasnoyarsk, archaeologists unexpectedly uncovered a massive 2,000-year-old tomb belonging to a previously unknown Scythian-type culture. The discovery occurred when an excavator leveled a mound in the cemetery, which had been in use since the 19th century. It was during this process that the ancient tomb was exposed. Unfortunately, the machinery damaged the upper portion of the burial chamber, leading to the loss of many artifacts. Despite this, a team of archaeologists led by Dr. Dmitry Vinogradov from Siberian Federal University continued the excavation work during the summer of the following year, managing to recover valuable data from what remained. After careful examination and analysis, experts confirmed that before it was partially destroyed, the tomb had a diameter of up to 98 feet. It was lined with wooden walls and birch bark mats, forming a unique box-like burial chamber. As the excavation progressed, the team uncovered a wide array of valuable artifacts, including knives, mirrors, needles, ceramic vessels used for eating and drinking, along with bronze battle axes and small daggers, items typically buried with the deceased to accompany them on their journey to the afterlife. One particularly notable find was a bronze plaque depicting a deer, an iconic motif in Scythian art that reflects the deep connection between this culture, nature, and spiritual beliefs. According to Dr. Vinogradov, the presence of approximately 50 sets of human remains suggests that this was likely a family tomb used over multiple generations for communal burial. The unusual coloration of the soil in the mound indicates exposure to high temperatures. Based on this, archaeologists believe that once the tomb had been filled and no more space remained, it was sealed and set on fire, a ritual likely meant to signify the end of its use. This practice aligns with burial traditions of the Scythian culture in Siberia during that time. 2,500-year-old mummy found with a beating heart in ancient Egyptian tomb. In ancient Egyptian culture, mummification was not only a sacred ritual but also a testament to a remarkably advanced civilization. However, a recent archaeological discovery on the outskirts of Luxor, Egypt, has shocked the scientific community. Experts uncovered a 2,500-year-old mummy whose heart still appears to beat. This phenomenon is nothing short of bizarre, perhaps even implausible, leaving researchers puzzled. The mummy's heart, though shriveled and lacking the softness of a living organ, somehow beats steadily, resembling the rhythm of a pacemaker. Upon further analysis, experts discovered a structure within the chest cavity resembling a cardiac regulator, a device capable of controlling heartbeat rhythm through specific vibrations and frequencies. This revelation is even more astonishing given the limited medical technology believed to exist in ancient Egypt over 2,500 years ago. How could the Egyptians have engineered such a sophisticated device in antiquity? Could there have been an external influence beyond our current understanding? One theory that has emerged is the possible involvement of extraterrestrials. While controversial, it's not entirely far-fetched when one considers the strange evidence found in Egypt's ancient monuments and records. At the Temple of Seti Phraon in Abydos, for example, a stone carving dated between 3,000 and 5,000 years ago depicts mysterious hieroglyphs resembling spacecraft, jet planes, and even helicopters, flying machines far ahead of the technology of that era. These inscriptions also include images of beings with large skulls and oversized eyes, bearing an uncanny resemblance to the little green men often portrayed in science fiction. Additionally, illustrations on various Egyptian memorials depict flying objects strikingly similar to modern spacecraft, fueling speculation that extraterrestrials may have once visited ancient Egypt and possibly shared knowledge far beyond the capabilities of the time. If the apparent advancement of ancient Egyptian medical technology can be explained by contact with an extraterrestrial civilization, it could open a new chapter in understanding the enduring mysteries of ancient Egypt, mysteries that science has yet to fully unravel. Although the alien hypothesis remains highly controversial, the discovery of a still-beating heart in a 2,500-year-old mummy is certain to captivate attention and provoke a host of unanswered questions. Was ancient Egyptian medical science truly so advanced as to seem unbelievable, or are there hidden forces at play that we have yet to comprehend? Screaming mummies of an Egyptian prince and princess. Let's go back to 1881 in the ancient city of Luxor, where Egyptian archaeologists discovered a royal tomb over 3,000 years old. Deep in the cold shadows of the burial chamber, they encountered an unforgettable sight: the mummy of a woman laid neatly in her sarcophagus, her face frozen in eternal terror. Her head was tilted back, her mouth agape, her facial muscles contorted, as if caught in a final agonizing scream. Through archaeological evidence and modern DNA testing, experts identified the woman as Princess Meret Amun, daughter of a powerful pharaoh who lived more than 3,000 years ago. Her tomb was fully adorned with royal burial rites, jewelry, ritual offerings, and protective symbols to guide her soul in the afterlife. And yet, her expression was anything but peaceful, unlike hundreds of other royal mummies ever found. Using advanced imaging and soft tissue analysis, researchers discovered that Princess Meret Amun had died of sudden cardiac arrest, a swift and fatal heart attack. Tragically, her body wasn't found for several hours. In that time, it underwent rigor mortis, locking her in the twisted, pain-stricken position in which she died. The embalmers were unable to reposition her limbs or close her mouth, preserving her body exactly as it was at the moment of death. A screaming mummy, not tortured or abused, but forever etched with the expression of a death too sudden to soften. One might think this was a one-of-a-kind tragedy in the history of Egyptian mummification. But in 1886, just 5 years later, another screaming mummy was found in the Deir el-Bahri Valley, about 310 miles south of Cairo. Once again, archaeologists were confronted by a corpse with its head thrown back, mouth wide open in a silent scream. But this time, the story was far more brutal. Unlike other royal mummies, this one was not wrapped in fine linen. Instead, it was crudely bound in sheepskin, a material considered impure in ancient Egyptian culture. His limbs were tied, and the body was shriveled in natron salt, used for preservation, but disturbingly, also found stuffed into his mouth as if deliberately placed there as a final punishment. After conducting DNA tests and comparing the remains to royal bloodlines, archaeologists confirmed the man's identity: Prince Pentawere, son of Pharaoh Ramses III and the child of a secondary wife. Historical records reveal that Pentawere was the mastermind behind a failed plot to assassinate his father and claim the throne. The punishment? Death, most likely by hanging, and an intentionally disgraceful burial. His body was mummified hastily, without ritual, without titles, bound like a criminal, his soul denied a peaceful journey to the afterlife. His scream wasn't from a heart's betrayal, but a silent howl of rage and shame in his final moments. Two screaming mummies, Princess Meret Amun and Prince Pentawere. One, a victim of fate. The other, a traitor punished. One scream echoes the despair of sudden death. The other, the fury of a life lost to ambition and betrayal. So, who suffered more? Meret Amun, who never got to say goodbye? Or Pentawere, who chose the wrong path and paid for it across millennia? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. 400-year-old queen consort mummy remarkably intact. On June 12, 2012, a remarkable archaeological event drew widespread attention from both the academic world and the public when China successfully excavated an ancient tomb believed to belong to Queen Consort of Prince Ming, the wife of Prince Zhu Lian of the Ming dynasty, 1368 to 1644. The tomb was discovered in the Zhonglian area of Nanchang, Jiangxi province, where a team of archaeologists carried out the excavation. During the dig, experts uncovered a number of valuable burial artifacts, including items made of precious jade, gold, silver, and ancient coins, strong indicators of the queen consort's high status and wealth in her era. Most astonishing of all, when the coffin was opened, archaeologists were stunned to find that the mummy of the queen consort had been preserved in surprisingly good condition, despite having been buried underground for hundreds of years. Of particular note, the royal garments, known as the longpao, imperial robe, and her jade belt were found nearly intact, demonstrating the exceptional preservation techniques used in ancient Chinese burial practices. Scientists believe the preservation was made possible by a combination of special embalming methods and natural materials that prevented decomposition. Additionally, many other artifacts were discovered in the tomb, including a jade name tag, a small lacquer box, and a fabric pouch buried alongside the body. These items not only possess material value, but also offer deep insight into the beliefs and burial customs of the Ming dynasty. One especially interesting feature was the wooden coffin lid, which had holes carved in the shape of the Big Dipper constellation, a powerful symbol in Chinese culture representing spiritual significance and cosmic order. This discovery not only holds immense archaeological value, but also provides a fascinating window into the customs, spiritual beliefs, and royal lifestyle of the Ming royal court. The well-preserved mummy and artifacts make the tomb of the queen consort of Prince Ning one of the most significant archaeological finds in China in recent years. It's safe to say that the world of archaeology never ceases to amaze us. From eerie screaming mummies and underground structures with unknown purposes to strange objects that don't belong to any known civilization, these are all mysterious puzzle pieces that no one has been able to fully explain. Each new discovery doesn't just leave scientists speechless, it raises countless questions about human history. Have we overlooked something? Could there have been civilizations that once existed and vanished without a trace? And how many more secrets are still buried beneath the earth, waiting to be uncovered? Which of these discoveries do you find the most baffling? Or do you have your own theory about one of history's unsolved mysteries? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and share your perspective. Who knows, maybe you'll be the one to help crack an archaeological mystery that's puzzled experts for millennia. And don't forget to subscribe to Ancient History so you won't miss any of our upcoming mind-blowing discoveries. For now, goodbye, and see you in the next adventure through time.